So in this lesson, we're going to look at crafting professional sales agendas. And in essence, the challenge that a lot of salespeople have with this is that particularly prospects, new business, customers don't always show up to those meetings. And very often, at the heart of that is poor agenda setting. So one problem is that there is a lack of clear expectations. So a failure to outline what the meeting's purpose and content is can deter prospects from attending. Well, why is that? Because a lot of buyers harbour concerns that salespeople that they've seen in the past don't listen to them and they're going to be overly pushy. Ambiguity in the agenda fuels that apprehension, making prospects far more likely to cancel those meetings. Another challenge is when the prospect isn't clear about how long the meeting is going to last, and of course they don't understand what the content of the meeting is going to be. They're far more likely to essentially shorten the meeting when you show up. So you'll hear phrases like, "Will this take long? I've got another meeting in 25 minutes. And the reason for that is they're giving themselves an out early in the meeting in case that salesperson falls into that category of stereotype that they don't want to spend time with. An easy way to avoid both of those is to make sure both of those are covered when you're crafting your agenda. And a well-crafted agenda serves as a verbal contract between you and your customer or prospect. It basically establishes commitments from both parties and aligns with each party's expectations. So let's take a look at the different components that you need to put into your agenda in order to set the right environment in the first instance. And the first thing is the purpose of the meeting. We've established that if the prospect doesn't know what's going to be covered, that will make them nervous. So the easiest way to do that is to clearly state that purpose. Secondly, appreciation for the prospect's time. So you have to acknowledge and appreciate the prospect for allocating time to that meeting, particularly if it's new business and they don't know you. Next is the meeting duration. So we need to specify the expected duration of the meeting to prevent interruptions and set clear expectations with the customer. And then we're going to write what the prospect or customer's agenda, their expectations are. And this highlights what they expect to gain from having that meeting with us. It demonstrates your understanding of their needs and it reassures them that their time won't be wasted. And that then gives you permission to put your agenda and expectations down. So transparently, you can outline what your expectations are, and it helps to align the prospect's mindset with what you're going to be asking them or what somebody within your organization is going to be asking of them when they attend that meeting. And then last of all, what's the expected outcome if everything goes well? Clearly communicate the anticipated outcome or the range of possibility of outcomes if there's more than one. Let the prospect know that decisions will be asked for at the end of the meeting. But critically, those last 2 points are predicated on making sure you're very clear about what the prospect's agenda and expectations are, because otherwise it will look like you're only interested in what's in it for you. So let's take a look at an example agenda and how that actually could be written. So here it is. Firstly, the purpose of the meeting: to discuss your cloud migration project. So that could be an existing customer, it could be a new one. Very clear what the purpose of the meeting is. Attendees: Chris Gallagher and Eve Burdett. So one from the customer side and one attendee, in this case myself, Chris Gallagher. Duration: 45 minutes. Very clear on what the purpose is, very clear on how long it's going to take. Your agenda: this is the customer's agenda, to outline your role, business and current IT estate. I could have changed the wording in there, but in essence that's an important part to communicate. Provide the objectives and challenges that are driving the new project. So remember, customers don't like people that don't understand their business. So we're saying to them, communicating in advance, we're going to listen very carefully to understand more about you and your business and about the challenges and what the reasons are that are driving this project. Really important. Understand our capabilities and how we can help you with that project. So of course that will be on their agenda. That's why they've called the meeting. They'll just have nervousness about whether you're going to be up to standard, or the person you're sending into a meeting is going to be up to standard, and communicate that effectively. What's our agenda? Well, now we've said what they expect, it legitimizes us talking about what we expect. Understand your current business and cloud challenges. So we'll need to ask questions for that. That's communicating the right type of message to the customer. Understand your decision-making process and timeline. So they know in advance we're going to ask those questions, and to provide a detailed overview of how we would approach this project, subject to all the above and understanding more about their business first. And the anticipated outcome, well, if all parties are happy to proceed, we'll agree on a workshop with additional stakeholders, both from their side, the customer side, and from ours as the selling business. And that has very clearly communicated what they can expect. It's reassured the customer how long it's going to be and that it's finite. It's reassured them that we're going to understand their business, their pain points and the challenges around the project, and that we're going to give them a concise overview of what we can do, and we know already what we're closing on, so they're ready for us to ask for that at the end of the meeting. That's what a professional upfront contract, an agenda for salespeople is. Hopefully that was useful. I'll see you on the next lesson.